Hi, second graders. It's Mrs. Shepherd here. This book is going to start off our learning for this week. Last week, we were focusing our brains on learning about pollination and all the different pollinators. And then we focused specifically on learning about bees, as bees are the most important pollinator on Earth. We're going to read this book as a refresher to refresh our brains and remind ourselves about pollinators. And then we're going to spend this week learning about butterflies. Here we go. Pollination. This bee is busy. It is gathering food. The bee is also helping the plant. The bee is moving the pollen. Pollen is powder inside of a flower. Pollination is when pollen moves between parts of flowers. How do insects pollinate? All insects pollinate plants in similar ways. First, an insect crawls on a flower. Pollen sticks to the insect. Pollen often sticks to an insect's back, legs, or head. Next, the insect moves to a different flower and the pollen falls onto the flower. The pollen rubs off the insect onto the milkweed flower. Then the flower uses the pollen to make seeds. Milkweed seeds blow in the wind. Kinds of pollinators. Kinds of insect pollinators, excuse me. Many different kinds of insects pollinate plants. Beetles pollinate. There is a lot of pollen on this beetle. You can see it. Wow. Lacewings pollinate. Butterflies pollinate. Butterflies have bristles on their legs that can carry the pollen, and I can see the yellow pollen right there on the butterfly's leg. Cool. Moths pollinate. Some moths pollinate flowers that bloom at night. This hawk moth is feeding on a flower. Wasps pollinate. Flies pollinate. Protecting pollinators. Some pollinators are in trouble and they are dying out. Much of the food we eat comes from plants pollinated by bees. Apple, pear, and peach trees need bees. It is important to protect our pollinators. So, scientists, thanks for reading with me. I hope that this book reminded you about what we learned last week about pollination, and then also got you thinking about all the insects that are pollinators. And again, this week we're going to focus on learning about butterflies. Enjoy! See you later.